Okay, I'm back. The ground beef is cooked, and it makes its own grease or juice. So you do want to have a strainer that you can drain your ground beef off.
Does that not strain off the flavoring though when you run the water on
Some people don't like to put the water on it. It doesn't bother me, so I've always done it. Um, a lot of cooking is choice. So you want to strain off that juice. And the other reason for keeping your hot water running, you didn't see all that, but one reason for keeping your hot water running as you're straining your ground beef is because it helps the sink not to clog. So all that juice that's running off the ground beef and down the sink, it helps. I hate it. It helps it not to clog up the sink. So that's the other reason for doing it. So you're not just pouring grease down your sink. So I added while you were away. I finished dicing up the green peppers. The onions were already cooking with the ground beef, and I just added the green peppers as well. And now your ground beef is done because it's completely browned. And so I'm just going to take that and dump it in the boiler. That's what's so lovely about chili and soup. Is just you just mix all this stuff up and voila, you have a meal that can last you for a couple of days. And so I normally like to start with a can of stewed tomatoes. I like Hunt's products. You can choose whatever you like. Again, a lot of this is preference. So I normally would do, I don't know, because I'm so used to cooking for a huge family. I'm nobody's cook by any means, but this is just the way we've always preferenced ours. So the stewed tomatoes, I'm doing 2 cans of stewed tomatoes in here. I would take those and cut them a little smaller because as you see, they're still, actually, a lot of times I would just take my hands and squeeze them to finish making them as much as I want them to be. And there's stewed tomatoes. You can get the diced stewed tomatoes and add them, but these are not diced, so I'm going to have to smush them a little bit with my hand. Oops, I got my ring on the hand. You don't have to do it this way if you don't want to. Again, you can get them already diced, which I should have done. I'm a little older now. I don't like taking up all the time to do the extra stuff. But this is what I picked up, so we have to get it done. And the tomato just adds more flavor to your food. My husband likes onions, so we add the onions. It's just all a matter of preference and what you like to have in your foods. For whatever you cook, for that matter. But as I stated earlier as well, you can cook your beans from scratch if you like. I'm not doing that today. I'm kind of trying to do this quickly, which this is actually my preference way of doing that as well because it saves me time. But, to each his own. Again, I'm not professing to be anybody's cook, famous chef, just home cooking. That works for us. So we're going to do, I like to take off some of the juice, not always all of it, my preference again. But this is the dark red kidney beans here. 1 can of those. Start us off. Light big kidney beans. Ask me the difference. I can't tell you. Just what we like. And I also like to add a thing of chili beans. So we're being that here. I have 1 more can of tomatoes that I'm probably going to add to this mixture. And I'll show you once I get it done. Again, I've got the whole stewed tomatoes, not the diced or the other ones. Now, looking at this, I'm probably going to have to add some water to this mix. For one, because it's not beans that are cooked from scratch, which would have its own juice already. So we're going to add water to this. And seasoning, chili powder. And again, to your taste, salt, pepper. Again, I use ground beef. You can use turkey, chicken, just whatever you like to use. I said before, everybody has their own preference. Water, like I said, I'm going to add it to the can, then add it to the mixture. So I got to throw these cans away as soon as I do this, because I think you should clean as you go. Just helps. I have a big old mess all over the place. Here's a chili powder that we typically use. Guess it's just mild, I'm not sure, but McCormick's is who we always get. Always have, no particular reason. There are several other brands that you can use if you choose to. And we just throw it in here like you would any other seasoning. And again, depends on your taste and what you want it to taste like as to how much you would use. I don't have a measuring cup, never have. Can't tell you how much of it is I put in there. Just according to your taste, just dice it up. I'd say not to overdo it because you can always add more to it if you want more, but you can't take it out. So I would just, taste it at some point to see if I wanted to add some more the closer it got to being finished. And again, it's just now you're just gonna put this on the oven and let it cook or simmer, because everything in here is actually already done. The beans were out the can, so they're done. The ground beef was cooked beforehand, so it's done. And so now it's just a matter of putting this nice little dish on the stove. There you have it. And letting it simmer. I like for my mixture to really simmer. So I would more than likely leave it on there for at least an hour, if not more, just to give it a chance for all the flavors to blend in and actually become a part of bring the whole meal together. So that's what we like to do. So I'm going to put this on, and when it's done, we'll be back. We're probably going to add some cheese, the cheese toast with it, and we'll be back. Okay, Mr. Barton made the point that I said I was going to put it in the oven. He wants you guys to know that you're not putting this in the oven. You're putting it on top of the stove. And there you have it, okay? And I'm going to put it on medium right now and just let it start to simmer and boil and what have you. And we'll have us a good bowl of chili for this evening with our cheese. And more than likely, it's just the two of us now, so we'll have plenty left over. That's the good thing about chilies and soups, is that you can cook them one day and don't have to cook the next day either. You can still have more of it. So anyway, that's us cooking in the kitchen, B&B Academy. I'll be back once this is done.